In this video, we're going to go through a really unique feature that comes along as part of StorageCraft's file backup and recovery utility. And that feature is called monitored items. Now, monitored items is a feature that's been implemented to really solve a really common problem historically with backups, and that is the situation where, let's say, an IT professional within an organization has a backup script that is running every single night. But for some reason, that script stops running. So that new backup never gets created, and therefore, we're no longer backing up changing data. Now, most backup solutions in that situation are going to say everything's fine. The most recent revision of that file is backed up. But what the service provider really wants to know is, hey, for some reason that file is no longer changing, and it should be. So what monitored items allow us to do is to actually keep what I call a heartbeat or a pulse on a file or a folder, saying, you know what, I expect to be getting new data, new revisions of that file, or new data from that folder on some kind of regular basis. So if I go into our dashboard here, within the computer detail page, so this is a computer that we're backing up, you can see that I have monitored item status 2 of 2 OK. Now if I click on this view here, you're going to see that right now on this computer we're monitoring two files. One is a Quicken data file, and one is a KeyPass database. Two very important files for this computer. And you can see that our last backup was 4 days ago on this file and 5 days ago. And you can see that we expect, so we set a threshold that we expect to see this file change every 7 days, and we expect the KeyPass database to change every 60 days. So what this means is if for some reason we don't get a new revision of this Quicken files within 7 days, it's going to send off an alert. Let's say, for example, I'm the owner of a business and I do all my Quicken data on my laptop computer, but for some reason I'm going on vacation. I just want to take the Quicken file on my thumb drive and go on vacation. And from that point forward, everything I'm doing, all the changes I'm saving when I return are on the thumb drive instead of on the computer. Well, with most backup solutions, as far as the service provider is going to know, everything is fine. The most recent revision of the file that system knows about is backed up. But it stopped changing. And for certain very important pieces of data, there is a pulse. There is an expected time frame in which files should be changing. So again, you can set any file or even a folder. You could say, I expect to be getting new files backed up from, let's say, my Documents folder once a week. So you can do a file or a folder, and then you can change this threshold. Again, this is the pulse. How often do you expect this file to be changing? How often do you expect to be getting new data from this folder? I'm going to leave it at 7 days. Now, the other great part about monitored items is not only does it give you this really nice feature in terms of making sure that really important business critical data is not only getting backed up, but that you're getting new revisions of it regularly. But monitored items are also a great way to customize the end user reports that you can send to your users. So if I go into the account overview, for every account or company that's being supported, you can generate end user reports, and you can schedule these end user reports right here. Again, you can send them out as frequently as you would like. But I'm going to go ahead and just preview what one of these looks like, because again, I want to show you how monitored items really make this look great. So within the end user report, not only do you get an overview of, okay, all your backups are good, or hey, this one has a problem, but for each computer, you also get a detailed view of the computer with how many files are being backed up, what's the capacity, but you also get a list of those monitored items. So having monitored items set really helps to personalize these end user reports instead of just having some really generic information about the amount of data or the number of files, which for a lot of folks is a little beyond their technical capabilities. They don't really understand what a gigabyte even means. but they do recognize their files. So, for this computer, they're going to see, hey, there's my Quicken data. That's my KeyPass database. They're going to recognize these file names, and they're going to see that everything is okay. So, monitored items are a great way, again, to just add an extra layer of clarity to make sure that everything is going well with the backup, but they're also a great way to help personalize these end user reports that you send out to your users.